Hey, welcome back to the channel. We have a review of the France-England match. These two teams have a storied history. This is one of the biggest games for England. They have an intense rivalry with France, historically, and on the rugby pitch too. And yeah, it didn't go their way today, so I would say France are one up on that count. Let's get into the match. So England start okay. They put a few phases together and then turn the ball over. Freddie Stewart, who was immense during this game. If there was, Ramos ended up getting the Man of the Match award, but if there was any player in the England side who could have got into the French side, it was Freddie Stewart. He was absolutely fantastic throughout the game, and he barges the ball up. He ran hard all day. Didn't miss a kick. Didn't miss a tackle. Didn't miss a high ball. He was fantastic. And my favourite player, Van Poelvoy, he flops on the ruck, and then there's no scrum half, and England turn the ball over. And that's pretty much the story of the game. England, there's so many turnovers in this game. They had an incredible amount of possession, but they couldn't make use of it. And that was their biggest Achilles heel, not putting the possession that they had into good use. So from that turnover, France put the ball through hands, pretty simple play, taking the contact from the forwards and then offloading. Nice hands, but nothing special, and they run England ragged on the outside, and they're over for the first try. So it's Ramos, of course. He had his kicking boots on today. He didn't miss a kick, and slots it over, and France are 7 points in the lead. Now, Lawrence Dallaglio, who's on the commentary team, had mentioned that England needed to get off to a good start, and they certainly didn't. And on the point of commentators, I think that having an all-English commentary team is doing a little bit of a disservice to the audience, because you don't really get like a rounded opinion of the game. But I will say that Lawrence Dallaglio is an absolutely superb commentator. Someone who's played international rugby. Maybe it's confirmation bias. I haven't played international rugby, but his commentary and things he picks up on is so much better than the other guys on the panel, including Stuart Barnes. So Dallaglio was actually really nice to listen to, because he picked out the key points of the game, and it kind of confirmed what I was thinking. So actually nice to get a good commentator. The Six Nations have had my issues with the commentators, but Dallaglio was very good. And England give away another penalty. Again, this became a theme through the game. They give up so many penalties, and you can't really win games. I mean, France put them to the sword, but the ball retention, the ruck was awful. But I tell you what, the Van Poelvoy, I held off on criticizing him so much because he's like a new guy in the team, and you want to give a guy a chance to settle in, but he is not international class. He looks lackadaisical, so slow around the feet. He looks like he's on holiday, like he's on his 2 weeks off in Spain. You know what I mean? And he hasn't got the whatever it is. England have a great tradition of scrum halves, and he is not living up to expectations, and as far as I'm concerned anyway, he was a big weakness. And you put him up against someone like Dupont, And Dupont had like a good game, but like, below his potential. Like, and Van Persie just looks like off the pace completely. He gave away, and he has incredible timing in terms of like he turns over the ball when it's like the most inconvenient time to turn over the ball for England. Like they're on an attack, they finally get some momentum, and Van Persie will do something stupid. And that's not what you want from a number 9. You want your number 9 to be rock solid. You want your number 9 to like boss the game. And he's not doing that, and he didn't do that against France, and he was a huge weakness in the first half for England. In fact, Van Persie makes Ben Youngs look like Gareth Edwards. He's that bad. And Ben Youngs actually, like, I was praying that he would come on. They had a different number 9 on the bench who actually did get on in the end pretty early, and I think that says it all. I'm glad Borthwick had the strength of character to actually pull the trigger on that one. So the game is going in France's favour, and England show a little bit of ambition. They get a penalty and they kick for the corner, and line out again, not a bad line out from England. Set piece was pretty solid, and then my main man, Van Persie, he like turns the ball over again. This is one of the like only times they were in the red zone or the attacking zone, the 22 of the opposition, and he has this unbelievable ability to just like turn over the ball when it's like the most inconvenient for England. And yeah, and France get out of jail. And that's the kind of the story of the game. Like England would build a good momentum and then just turn the ball over. Freddie Stewart again is absolutely, he's great under the high ball. He's a good runner. And today I noticed his kicking out of hand is absolutely superb. He puts in a massive kick from like behind his own goal line, I think. And Marcus Smith like basketball passes it to him, and he absolutely leathers it up to halfway. The guy is absolutely incredible. Like, what a player. If they had like a few more of Freddie Stewart, like England would do well. Flamand gets a try. Nice to see a second row getting over, and it wasn't his first one today. Yeah, and it's pretty basic stuff from France, you know what I mean? And Delalio calls it well. They just look more powerful man for man. I mean, at the end of the game, when you would say, would you switch any players, into the French side from the England side? You would say probably no, because they were just physically stronger, which is unusual for England. England are usually pretty physically strong, so yeah, that's not a good look. And I think it's more like mentality more than anything. Like Ireland are not the biggest side in the world, but like mentally, recently they're very, very strong, and they can match anybody physically, including the South Africans. So for England, I think it's they've lost the psychological edge. But yeah, France dominated the breakdown and the contact area, and well, by dominating the contact area, they did dominate the breakdown, and that's something England really need to look at. Like there was a little bit of a suggestion, I think, that France's lineup wasn't straight in the first half. In the second half, I thought they cleared it up, but in the first half, it was pretty lopsided, let's say. The throwing in wasn't exactly straight, so I think France got away with a couple of calls there, but in fairness, like, they kind of earned it, so yeah, give them that. So it's 17-0 after 20 minutes, and it's not looking good for England. As Delalio warned, England slow starters, so can they work their way back into the game? So the Itoje is again putting in a workhorse performance, and why he's not captain, I don't know. Like I like Genge, you know what I mean. He serves his purpose, but Like Itoje to me is like a much more rounded player in terms of like his ability to talk to the referee, which comes up later. He's been captain a lot. I know Genge is captain of Leicester, but like Genge look overawed by the responsibility, especially in such a difficult game. Like I think Itoje would come and like blossom more. I think he's reached the pinnacle of what he can do in the second row. Like Itoje to me needs to be captain now. I think he would be a fantastic captain, and it would raise his game because he's putting in such a massive shift every game, like and it's going unnoticed. Like it's not the flashy stuff. It's like tackles, it's like ruck work, it's maul work. He really is like making that second row shirt his own. Like so I'm not sure about the captaincy, like, but I would definitely look at Itoje as being the captain, Maro. So another turnover. It's becoming ridiculous now, and penalties galore. Van Persie fumbles the ball at the base of the ruck, and let's be honest, like England's control of the ruck and the breakdown wasn't great. They were going in ones and twos. France were like doing it more systematically, going in pairs or threes even at sometimes. And but when the ball is like pops out of a ruck or or falls on the floor from a maul, you look at the difference between Van Persie and the French number 9, Dupont, and it's night and day. Dupont will like look at it as an opportunity to go or do a kick or something, and it's an opportunity to attack. Van Persie just looks like he's lost. He's looked like a schoolboy who's lost his like rucksack or his school bag. You know what I mean? It's like, it's terrible. He doesn't belong on an international pitch. I'm sorry, like I've given him like fair, a fair amount of time to bed in, but like he's not up to it. So the sooner he's gone, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So just before the first half ends, you see Genge talking to the ref. Now, the commentators were saying it's like a good thing, like a Sam Warburton type thing, where he's trying to like be friends with the ref and stuff, but like they totally misinterpret what's happening. Genge is like complaining about the referee's decisions. That's not a way to get into the referee's good books, right? So I don't know what game they are watching, but again, the commentators are too friendly towards the English players. Like Genge should have shut his mouth, asked what the referee's decision was, and got on with it. That's the way you get the referee's respect, right? But anyway, so England put a few phases together, looking pretty good. Get a nice turnover, and then the main man again, Van Persie, throws a pass to nobody. Yeah, England had like a 6-man overlap, and he didn't even pick a player. He just throws it out, hoping that someone's going to catch it. And like Dombrandt, well, I like Dombrandt, you know what I mean? He's full of energy. Didn't have the greatest game, like, you know what I mean? But, and then he somehow gets the blame. Van Persie is a scrum half. He didn't even choose anyone to pass to. He just threw it out. The guy is useless, completely useless. So it goes, France score again just before the second half. Like, talk about England's timing. France scored just after the kickoff and then just before the second half whistle. It's like the worst times. So I don't know what bad mojo England have got on them at the moment, but like, yeah, it's not working out for them at all. And then just after the second half break, Borthwick gets tired of watching Van Persie stroll around the pitch like he's on holiday, and takes him off, and he puts on the new number 9, who does a little bit better. And as soon as he comes on, England actually score. Freddie Stewart gets just reward for his hard work and his exceptional play, and bowls over for the try. And England kind of back in it at this point. They have a glimmer. the glimmer of an opening, of a glimmer. You know, there's something they can play towards. And Woodward said it best at half-time. They briefly went to him. Why he's not our commentator, I don't know. But he said, like, if you were to get in the team talk, you would say, let's try and win the second half. That's it. You know, maybe the game is gone now, but we win the second half. And what a great attitude to have. Like, I think that would have served England really well. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. At about 50 minutes in, the possession ometer comes up, and it says that England have had like over 70% possession, which is incredible, really, for an international test match. But it shows you how ineffectual their attack is, because they haven't really done much with it. And plus, combined with turnovers and things like that, they're really suffering from their own errors. And it's the pain they're feeling is self-inflicted. They've got the talent, they've got the ability to do it, but there's something missing with this England side. I don't know what it is exactly. I think Borthwick should be given, and Sinfield, you know, I got a respect for them both, but they should be given time to do it. But when France smell blood, I mean, it's hard to resist them. And the more they grow in confidence, like Ireland showed that when you put them under pressure, they can crack. And that's been a classic case with French sides throughout the years. But when they've got the tail is up, was it? When their blood is up, they're a very difficult side to beat, and I think England couldn't resist them. I mean, yeah. And France just run in a bunch of tries in the second half. They make it a very big score. Perhaps not what England deserved, but perhaps they did. The ill-discipline, the lack of control around the breakdown, bad play by one or two players. I really think that a couple of players just don't want to be there anymore. You know, Sinclair is one of them. Itoje put in such a massive shift, and I think he's covering for a lot of his buddies in the pack. I mean, the work that he's doing is covering for a couple of other people who maybe could be subbed out, and like someone who actually has a better production rate, I mean, could be put in. And like, yeah, England still have a long way to go. I believe they'll get it right towards the World Cup, but yeah, this was a humbling experience for them. And maybe one that they needed to go through. They said it was a level check, and it certainly was. And they've far below par, so, or far above par, whichever way. If you're a golfer, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, congratulations to France. Hard luck. Condolences to England. Like, I haven't watched the Wales-Italy game yet. But yeah, it looks like the two neighbours struggling at the moment. But yeah, let's see where it goes. So, all right, thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe. And I will catch you soon for the next review. All right, bye-bye.